Is this thing on? Yes, it is. Sorry if I blew speed drums out. It's me, William Walkie Walker, a little old school. Hope everyone's doing good on this fantastic day. Um, I just wanted to spend a few minutes here, or two, or three, or four, TLDW, whatever. Um, really, for everyone in the wrestling world in the WWE universe, no matter doesn't matter what you call yourselves as a fan. Um, we were given the unfortunate news of the passing of William Moody a week ago, and I've been sitting here throughout the past week, sitting here at the computer table, working or going out taking care of a few things, and I've been really reflecting on really the past. Ever since I got to be introduced to the character of Paul Bearer back in 1991. And it's funny, thinking back in the 1991, I was about, say, 8, 9 years old at the time that Paul Bearer, the character, first got introduced to the WWF universe at that time. It's just kind of odd. It was over 20 years ago. Over 20 years of having to, along with The Undertaker, and then eventually later getting introduced to Kane, to really look at those characters, but more importantly to Paul Bearer and what he represented as a manager at that time, and what he still represented today. And it's it sucks that when your favorites at that time are no longer with us, and in the end, things don't last forever, and it's a sign of our immortality. And but still, it sucks that he's no longer with us, and I just want to give my condolences to the Moody family, and I hope that throughout this past week that they have gone through the process of grieving well enough, and I think more importantly not to grieve, but more to celebrate the life and legacy that he left. And for me personally, I remember this really full rightly. You know, it was at that time, I would have to say either 91 or 92, when the WWF at that time went to the Palace of Auburn Hills. Back at that day when they used to go there a lot, and we, my family, would always go up there all the time. And I remember at that one house show, it was a steel cage match when the Undertaker, may or may not have been a steel cage match. I can't remember, but we were the Undertaker was facing against somebody else, and could have been the Ultimate Warrior, it could have been somebody else, but I remember I wasn't, say, 6 or 7 rows from the ring, and I remember heckling Paul Bearer, trying to get his attention, Paul, Paul, and all that stuff. And eventually, when I finally was able to, I know that he heard me because in his kind of very good head turn that he does so well, or something along that lines, he turned his head and looked directly into my eyes, and that scared the living bejesus out of me. I ran down trying to hug my mother, but I remember at that time the man was incredible as a manager, and it's sad that in the day of age of the WWE and TNA and ROH, that managers are shortcoming these days. Because a guy like Paul Bearer, along with, say, Bobby the Brain Heenan and Jim Cornette and all those people, really were great, left a great mark as managers, and Paul Bearer ranked among all of them. And I'm going to miss him. So my condolences once again go to the Moody family and to all the fans. You know that we, may he live long. No, may he rest in peace. Is the better term. So, hope everyone has a good remainder of their week, and I shall talk to you all later. So, I miss you, Paul Bear.